2 years ago, I knew absolutely nothing about investing. Today, I'm making trades that my 16-year-old self would have never had the confidence to take. But the biggest thing investing gave me wasn't money. It gave me direction. Here's why. Hey guys, and welcome. My name is Yaiki, and as the title and the intro had pointed out, today I'm going to be explaining my experiences with trading and how it changed my life. And I'm gonna be talking while I'm trying to hit Immortal, so wish me some luck. How I started was, I started learning and planning investments since I was the age of 16. That was during the year of 2024, about mid-2024 I started. And that was during like the uprising of trading per se. It started to get a little bit more popular and Trump was being moved into the office per se. You know, he was like... I can't think of the word. He was being elected to be the president. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. And during... What the hell? I'm back, and it seems that Riot pushed out a new update for Vanguard, and they didn't want to tell me that before I pressed play and got into a game and then dodged after the game started. So good shit, Riot. Anyways, back to the point. I started July of 2024, which like I said, I was 16, and I started with absolutely no knowledge, to be honest. Like back in the day, I think the only thing I knew about stocks was that it was like shares about companies, and I knew that one meme called stonks, and I feel like that's a lot of the reason why people even know why stock is a thing. But yeah, my dad taught me the ropes. He showed me, oh, you know, this is the buy button, this is the sell button, this is how you set which dollar you want to buy it, you know, how many shares you want to buy. Same for my uncle too, taught me a thing or two about stocks. He's kind of the guy who taught me how to, you know, cast my rod per se. My uncle is still the GOAT. I don't know why I'm saying was as if he's dead. My uncle is not dead. He is a great fisherman per se in the stock market. So when I first started, I was pretty slow, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't really know too much. Like I said, I only knew how to buy and sell, but other than that, I had Yahoo Finance on my phone, and I was using my finger to figure out price points, and I don't really know what the fuck I was doing. So all I did was I traded those blue chip companies at the front page of Yahoo Finance, because that's all I knew. And then, you know, I downloaded TradingView because that's a very big word in the trading industry, and TradingView is like an app that allows you to monitor stocks, you know, see if they're doing good. It's basically just a more advanced Yahoo Finance. Let's just put it like that for those of you who don't know. But yeah, I use TradingView now all the time. I mean, that's the only thing I use to trade. I even got a subscription because I'm so locked in. I know, look at me go. Anywho, after the first few months of starting, I actually, surprisingly, I didn't lose much, and obviously I didn't gain much. But then after about 4 or 5 months of trading, I had my first big win, and to me that was a lot of money back then. And for those of you guys who don't know, I'm Canadian. However, I buy and sell US stocks, and in order to buy and sell US stocks you need US dollars. Of course, I can't be trading with Canadian dollars now. So I made my first big win, and the number was already big in USD, and when you transfer that to CAD, which is CAD, Canadian dollars, is a lot of money.
Watch out for
30.
Help me, on site. 2 on site. Just both. Alright, so basically I turned into John Wick and my teammates baited the fuck out of me. But yeah, I had my first really big win. Am I gonna go into dollar amounts? I'm not too sure. I'm gonna relax on dollar amounts, but all you need to know that it was a pretty big win, and I was very, very happy since I didn't really know much. I was kind of gambling per se. I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't even know what a fair value gap was, bro. That is crazy.
Reloading. One enemy remains.
Yeah, so I don't even know what a fair value gap was. I didn't know what support and resistance was. I didn't know shit about shit. Maybe I knew what support and resistance was, but yeah, man, like I was just... Yeah, let's not get too much into that. But yeah, I know better now. Anywho, I had my first big win. I was super excited, and that is really what motivated me to keep going, I'm gonna be honest. But as my uncle pointed out, during then, everyone was winning. Losing in a time like that was difficult, and he was basically saying like even an idiot could make money. It's gonna be, I think.
One more.
Wow, dude, it's like my teammates don't know how to shoot their guns. So my first big win led me to getting hella motivated. Honestly, if I didn't have that big win, I'd be in a different place right now. But that is not the title of this video. There's more to the story. So let's go on. So after I had my first big win, I shortly after had my very big loss during the February incident of 2024. And for those of you who don't know, that is when Trump decided to make one of his first moves of office of adding tariffs on literally every country. And the one who was hurt the most was us, Canadians. Now, I'm not too into politics, so take everything I say with a grain of salt, but yeah, it was not good. He decided to impose tariffs on a lot of people, including Canadians, and generally,
someone. Let me buy you
it was
right now.
not good for the stock market. Pretty sure, unless you were insider trading, you probably lost money during that time. Holy fuck. I'm trying to speak. These guys are trying to be like gamers.
Full push. Hey,
Grab
Jet, come
Bailey.
here.
Grab
Come here.
Bailey.
Oh my god, these guys are yappers, bro. I mean, it's pretty ironic for me to say since I'm yapping, but...
Two back.
What?!
Player standing.
Wow.
Oh my god, he's him! First big loss. Had a lot of disappointment in myself. A lot of lost money. I think, quite literally, I lost everything I got from that big win. But I had a lot of other wins, like micro wins, before that big win. So overall, I was positive. But yeah, my first big loss, instead of it deterring me from ever trading ever again, it actually fueled more motivation, surprisingly. It actually made me reevaluate who I am, as in like who I am in a trader. What do I want to gain out of trading? Why did I lose that trade? What did I do wrong? And quickly I realized that I'm a fucking retard and I just didn't know what I was doing. So I had to completely reevaluate my whole strategy. And by reevaluate, I mean actually learn a strategy. So I went to YouTube, I started talking more to my uncle, genuinely showing interest that I wanted to learn. I spent a lot of time learning about indicators and less about strategies and more about advice on like how not to trade. You know why a lot of people lose money. Probably backside. Oh my god, this guy's flashes are actually dangerous. So I spent a lot of time searching about different indicators, you know, tools that will help you make money in trading, things that can help you identify when is a good time to buy, when is a good time to sell, you know, support and resistance and you know what I'm saying. So I took about I took a whole month break. I think it was March. I literally didn't place one trade all of March, just thinking about why the fuck, you know, I lost and, you know, getting my emotions in check. It's a very important thing to do in the stock market is to not let your feelings control you. Yeah, I took literally a whole month break without making a trade at all. And the month after that, I think I only placed the buy order on like Amazon and maybe another company. And the month after that, I think I sold a share and then I bought another share. It was very, very infrequent trading. I came back with a whole different mindset, making sure you have the right execute, knowing your buy and your sell levels, you know. Before placing a trade, you not only need to know when the time is right to buy, but you also need to know when the right time is to sell. You can't hop into a trade only halfway thinking like, oh, this is a good time to buy, so I'm just gonna buy. You know, you also need to have your plan Bs and your plan Cs and all those other plans. You need to think, okay, so I bought here. When is my first TP? When is my second TP level? Where should I put my stop loss? These are the things I thought about when I got back to trading. And the trades I made were a lot less frequent, like I said. Like, the trades I placed were higher in dollar amount. Yeah, back in the day, I was like kind of day trading. Quick in, quick out, that type of trades. But then I came back as more of a investor approach where, you know, you buy and you hold for a little bit longer and then you sell. If I had to give you one piece of advice, is investing is a lot safer than day trading, and you will probably end up making more money in the long run. Not to deter you, I think it's very important you try all aspects of trading. That's kind of the beauty of the stock market, is that you're free to try whatever you want and try your own strategies, try whatever you want. It's like literally you're painting like Picasso or Da Vinci. You are free to use whatever brush you want, whatever stroke type you want, whatever brand you want, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of flexibility, and with flexibility actually comes a lot of problems. If you try too many things at once, you're not going to get good at any of them. You're going to do all of them very poorly, and most likely none of them are going to work. Let's try a default this time. And what does that mean, right? I'm sure you've heard of this, but jack of all trades is good, as in you know how to do various different things. But what's even better than that is being really good at one type of thing. I actually told my uncle this. I told my uncle, if you know what a good time is to buy and what a good time is to sell, why don't you do a short sell? And what a short sell is... He's just praying, bro. He's just praying, bro. What the fuck? Oh my god, it is so hot in my room, guys. Holy shit. Like, I want to turn on my AC, but then my voice is gonna be all chopped. Oh yeah, back to what I was actually saying. And what short trades are is instead of buying and selling at the top, you actually buy at the top and then you sell when it goes down. It's basically the same thing as just buying low and selling high, except it's the exact opposite of that. You sell high and buy low, and that difference is your profit. I'm not exactly a doctor, I can't tell you how that works, but it works. And I told him, if you know when to buy and when to sell, why don't you just do that? And he basically just said, why would I do that when I'm already really good at just buying low and selling high? And when you think about it, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like, I'm just the worst player ever. I'm not even gonna fight that. If I'm already really good at buying low and selling high, why would I add a whole other set of risk on the other side? Because I'm really good at buying low and selling high. Why would I also buy high and sell low? And to some of you that might sound stupid, because you're like, okay, well, you already know when the highest point is and when the lowest point is, so why don't you just do that? And it's all about risk management and being able to tolerate your emotions. If you're already really good at one set of equations of buying low and selling high, why would you add a 2x risk on top of that of doing the exact opposite? You know, your emotions get control of you, you don't really know what you're doing, it's just more risk. And he's like, okay, instead of buying 50% and buying low selling high and 50% when it's high low.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
I hit her 60. She hit hard.
Come on, you know, I'm like that. Easy 1000 aura right there. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, just don't add more risk. Instead of doing half on buy low, sell high, half on sell high, buy low, just put it all on one thing. One aspect of trading. And after you build up more confidence, more trades, okay, first of all, let me say this is not trading advice, obviously, I don't want to get sued, but don't do everything all at once. Like I said, you can learn 1,000 indicators, 1,000 strategies, 1,000 different YouTubers, 1,000 different traders, but the best advice I would give is to do one thing at a time. Doing too many things at once is never a good thing, honestly, in all aspects of life. There's just too many variables for one person to handle. And by all means, most of you here will understand what I just said and listen to me and still go and do the exact opposite of what I just told you, which is exactly what I did. Don't try everything all at once, and if you want to go ahead and do whatever and just do the exact opposite, which I actually encourage, don't just blatantly listen to others, try new things, but only put in as much as you can afford to lose. It's the most important thing to try everything at least once, and that doesn't just apply to trading,
One
if you
enemy
know what I'm
remaining.
saying. But if you don't try, you don't know, right? Like I just told you that investing is better than trading, but for the off chance that you are the 0.00001% of people who are actually profitable at day trading, by all means, you need to try day trading and see if it's for you. I tried day trading and I ended up being profitable, but I came to the conclusion that my investing strategies are better and more consistent, less risky, so why would I just do day trading? But like I said, for other people it might be different. Moving on, as of today, 2 years later, I know a lot more than I knew then, a lot more refined strategy, a lot better decision making and risk management, and I trust myself more in the sense that I'm less reliant on others. Like I said, it's very important to be open-minded in trading. It's very important to be able to take advice with a grain of salt and not completely disregard others. But then again, it's also important to distinguish between a good decision and a bad decision. You don't want to go ahead and just do stupid shit that loses you money based off of the word of others. Oh my god! I might have to pick up the Phantom. Like, when I first started trading, actually, this is a story about my first biggest win. My uncle told me to sell 3 times, and let me tell you what I did. So I bought the trade, and I was up a lot of money, me being the, you know, my first big sort of win. My uncle was like, okay, you know, you gotta, you know, cut your wins, and, you know, make sure you know when to stop, and whatever, yada yada. Sell here. This is a good price to sell. What did I do? Not only did I not sell, I fucking bought more. And then, he told me to sell again, at a different price point. What did I do? I bought more. This continued another time where he told me to sell. This time I didn't buy more. I just held onto the, you know, stuff that I had because it was a lot of money so far. But I held it and then I sold even higher. And I actually looked back on the trades when he told me when to sell, and his advice was good of when to sell. However, I was ignorant and stupid and young, and I went back against his word completely, and it ended up making me more money. Was that a good thing I did to hold and make even more money? Not really. Did I make more money? Yes. But nowadays, even when he tells me a good price point to sell and buy and whatever, I fact-checked with my own strategies. I don't just blindly listen to his advice and say, sir, yes, sir, because, you know, he taught me, and, you know, I literally trade with his strategies, with his tools, basically. And even when he says, you know, when to buy and when to sell, I still
If they
don't
don't come at
exactly
you,
do
try.
what he says. Like I said, everybody has their own freedom in the trading world. They all have their own Picasso painting of strategies, and what might be one shoe fitting for another might not be a shoe fit for you, to get philosophical, if you know what I'm saying. What someone might say that doesn't work and it worked for you, and then they might say something that works for them and it doesn't work for you, leads me to the next point of you need to have risk management. You can't just force every trade. Yeah, you can't just full port every trade and fucking willy-nilly do whatever. You need to allow yourself room to make mistakes, allow your room to bounce back. But if you full port every trade, fucking lose 100%, you're cooked, you have no money, and you have no trading, and there goes your house, there goes your car, there goes your kids, there goes everyone else. So risk management, very, very important. Now we gotta talk about how did trading change my life. I definitely say that learning stocks was actually the most pivotal moment of my life, and that's not even like clickbait or anything. I think genuinely it changed me and made me worse at Valorant. Oh my god, it is so hot. I'm burning. I'm fucking burning. Okay, I'm back. I just had to step outside my room for 5 minutes and let my AC do some work, because dude, holy fucking shit, it was hot in here. And not only was it hot, but my fucking 20 fan PC keeps sucking out the carbon dioxide coming from my exhale, recirculating that hot air and fucking bullshit through the PC, out the exhaust, back into my fucking esophagus. Bro, it's like, holy shit, it was, oh my god, terrible. Anyways, back onto topic. How trading changed my life. Trading quite literally changed the trajectory of my life, and I'm not even trolling, I'm not even capping, no bullshit. Genuinely, if I didn't do stocks, I would be at a much different place than I am now. It showed me that there was more to life than the default route of going to school, getting married, having kids, getting a job, fucking working for the rest of your life, getting retired, still having to pay taxes, and then fucking die. That is obviously the default route I'm talking about. And ever since I was young, I was like, fuck no, I'm not doing this shit. And okay, I get that it sounds like I'm about to sell you a course, but the only thing I have to offer to you is a like and a subscription. So allow me to move on. From a young age, I was never really easily able to answer the question of who I wanted to be or what my dream job was. And from a young age, I was just confused by the question, and I never really had a straight answer to tell people. What I would usually say is I wanted to be an inventor. And when I was even younger, I used to say that I wanted to be a builder. And I really loved the idea of creating things and building things. Like, I was super into Lego and super into, you know, building stick forts, and oh my god, that is a story for another day. But as I grew older, I started to mask this confusion I had with simply saying I was going to chase education and get an MBA, start a business. And that's what I would tell people when they ask me, like, how do you see yourself, you know, 5-10 years from now? What do you think you're gonna do? You know, what are you taking in, you know, university, or what are you taking for school and stuff like this? And that's what I would tell them. You know, I wanted to be some sort of businessman, get an MBA, chase further education. But now that I think about it, I genuinely wanted to pursue higher education just to stay more unemployed. I can see that now. But yeah, deep down, I knew that this isn't exactly what I wanted to do with my life, and I didn't want to 5-stack Valorant with 2 controllers on Breeze. I can tell you that much too. It isn't exactly what I wanted, and I wasn't too keen on the idea of telling people that, you know, I don't like working for others, I want to be unemployed, I don't like jobs, and this sort of stuff. And I didn't really want to tell people that I envisioned a dream lifestyle rather than a dream job. You know, when they say, what's your dream job? I never really had a dream job to say. I had a dream lifestyle. You know, I wanted to be rich, or, you know, be wealthy, be successful, you know, really be happy with my life. And I had all these visions of like being on a yacht or something. What?
I'm just listening.
I'm recording for a video.
Okay, I'm not in your video.
How long were you listening?
Like 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Sorry for that random invasion of privacy. As I was saying, I envisioned myself being rich on a yacht, sitting on a nice chair, looking at my arm with a nice watch, and that was my dream. That is who I wanted to be. I didn't want to be no doctor, no engineer, nothing like that. I knew where I wanted to be. I just didn't know who I wanted to be. Does that make sense? It turns out by chasing the stock market and chasing just being who I am and being true to myself, I was actually building up to that that dream lifestyle of mine, and I didn't even realize. All of this risk-taking that I took back then, you know, fear of being different, being the odd one out, and all that stuff during my path led me to the discovery of the stock market. I didn't know this then, but trading literally made my idea into a reality. That dream, that fairy tale land, those dreams that I had, those dream lifestyles were all going to fall in place. If I never did trading, I never really would have found that way. So yeah, trading was, in its own words, like a dream job, but more than just a dream job, the things that entail in doing the stock market, the way that you become a good trader and all the other things that you need to do to trade really builds you up to be a better person. And you'll hear a lot more people having problems in trading rather than good things, but you only make it as good as you want it to be, right? If you're not looking out for yourself, if you're not trying to fix anything, if you're not trying to put in the work, put in the hours, and take those hours, then how do you expect to go anywhere? You know, how do you expect to be different than everybody else? How do you expect to live up to your dream lifestyle, those aspirations, those things that you had in mind for yourself? And slowly, as I started to learn more in trading, take better trades, risk management, learning more and more, it transformed me. Not only as a trader, it transformed me to be a better version of myself, I'd say, 100%. I think I'll definitely talk more about trading and how it turned me into a Sigma male and all that, but I think I need to continue this story on another day, as I need to lock in. I think that's going to be all for this video. Thank you so much for those of you who made it this far. I hope this video was helpful and brought you a little bit of motivation or perhaps some inspiration. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, as it not only helps me, but it pushes this video out to more people who could use this insight. If you wish to know more, please feel free to leave a comment below, as I read every single one, or let me know if you want buy or sell signals. I'm just kidding. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.